Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Tassie, and this is my Shaman Memoirs channel. As promised, for our Halloween special, we're going to be going over tarot cards. So before we get started, I have a bunch of announcements. First off, my lipstick. A lot of people ask me. So this is the Dose of Colors, and I love this shade. It's like a blue-red, exactly what I talk about in some of my videos. Next big announcement, I have officially launched Love Tassie. So if you guys go to tassieang.com, I will link the actual website down below as well. And you guys can also find it on Facebook, Love Tassie. I have launched, with the help of my spirit guides, hair accessories. And these accessories are all going to be Asian inspired and all inspired from my spirit guides. So the band that I am currently wearing, this is the black headband one. This one here, I absolutely love it. And then I wanted to really wear my red headband. So this is my red version. However, it didn't really go with my look today because my makeup's kind of intense for Halloween. I also have, I also have the white version, the white/pink version here as well. So all of these are going to be available for purchase if you guys are interested. And if you guys spend $50 or more, you can use Shaman10 as your code to get 10% off your entire purchase. All of the looks are going to be Asian inspired, and a lot of them hasn't been released yet, but they will be. So definitely keep checking it out as new products roll out, you guys. Now, Love Tassie came to me over the summer. It was pretty intense when it actually happened. This happened right after my grandmother, she passed away. It hit me like a wave where my spirit guides, with some shamans, when they have spirit guides, especially if they're very creative and artistic, their guides will always spill out into their normal life. So this was something that my spirit guides really propelled and pushed me into. Even if I would try to stop thinking about it and move on and focus on other things, they would continuously bring me back to making sure that I start this. So I have officially started it. Will be live as soon as I upload this video as well. Okay, and in tune with this episode, I am also going to be doing a giveaway. So I am going to be going over really just how I do tarot cards in this episode, touch base on some ghostly updates, etc., my usual. And then I'm also going to be doing my giveaway here. This is going to be a deck of tarot cards. It's not opened, and it is a beginner's guide, and it is by Juliet Sharman Burke. So there will be a book that's included in this, and it really shows you guys how to read your deck of cards and everything like that. All you guys have to do to enter into the giveaway on Shaman Memoirs for Facebook, when I upload this video, you just need to share it. And then the other thing you have to do is you have to like and follow Love Tassie on Facebook. All right, and then the winner of the giveaway will be announced on November 10th. So make sure you guys keep an eye on it in case I'm calling you and I'm trying to reach you and I can't. So that way you guys know if you guys won the deck of tarot cards, and then we can work together on getting it sent out to you. My makeup, it's very intense, I know, you guys. I'm supposed to be Bowsette for Halloween. So a lot of you guys were very close guessing that I was going to be Bowser for Halloween because of my shell. So the story of Bowsette, in case anybody's not familiar with it. Bowser found a crown that when he wears it, he turns into a beautiful woman. So Boo also found Bowser's secret. So at night, Boo wears the crown and becomes Boozette. So for Halloween, I am going to be Bowsette, you guys. And it really all started because my family and I were all planning to go go-karting, and we all wanted to be Super Mario characters. So my boyfriend's going to be Waluigi. I absolutely love Waluigi. We have Mario, Luigi, we got Yoshi, we got Toad, we also have Shy Guy, and we have Koopa. So it's going to be the whole gang, you guys. For some reason, nobody wanted to be the princesses, but in general, though, that was our whole goal for Halloween. So we're all Super Mario characters. Now, obviously, I couldn't wear my shell behind me because, you know, my chair. And plus, you guys can't really see it anyways. But my shell and my crown is going to be there. I also have horns I'm going to be wearing too, you guys. And if you follow me on Shaman Memoirs for Facebook and Instagram, you guys will see me for Halloween uploading our photos. Last thing I want to talk about before we get into this video, I got fan mail. So I actually got this package delivered to me for my birthday, and so I wanted to open it for camera. I just got here this week. So let's do it. Oh, it's a bag within a bag. Ooh. You guys, this is from Kynjii's Beauty Collection. Holy cow. Oh my god, I also got a card. Oh my god, the card is so freaking cute, you guys. It's furry. There's a bunch of dogs on there. Look at how cute that is. I want to gift you because I choose to and out of appreciation. Happiest birthday, Tassie. I know I am late on the B-Day gift, but hope you enjoy this B-Day gift. Thank you so much. Oh my god. So this is from Kynjii Beauty Cosmetics. Okay, so you guys may not know this, but their eyebrow pen here, so you know, you got the pen on this side, and if you twist it, you also have, oh, not that part. And then if you twist it, you also have the little ink here that you guys can brush onto your brows. I have been using this pen all summer. Ever since I got it, I freaking love it. This one is from Kynjii Cosmetics. Now, I use Anastasia brow gel thing on my eyebrows. And if anyone's ever used that, it doesn't work with a lot of stuff. Like, you can't draw any darker shades or any crayon or any color on top of your eyebrows once you've applied that application. This by Kynjii Cosmetics, this actually goes right above it. No issues. I can blend it easily. So let's dig into this. Oh, and what were the chances? My glitter on my eyes. It is also from Kynjii Cosmetics. All right, now in addition, Kynjii Beauty Collections, this is the last palette that they had sent to me as well, which I freaking love. But the glitters from this palette, that's actually what I'm wearing on my eyes. All right, let's see what they got me. Okay, so we have a new shade of lipstick. This is going to be the matte lipstick shade 42. Oh my god, my scaly hands. Ooh, this is a pretty color. All right, let's see what else we got. Look at the packaging on this, you guys. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I had no idea what it was. This is going to be this is going to be an ink liner for your eyes. I'm going to be using this for sure. Ooh, I also got lashes. I'm gonna have to try these out next time. Then there is another bag. Ooh. Oh my god, I got two beautiful as heck palettes. I don't even know what they look like. Let's open them. Kynjii's Beauty Collection. Oh my god, I love the packaging on this, you guys. Oh, this is so freaking cute. I love the black and white. Look at how beautiful these colors are. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have such variety. Guys, look at this one as well. Look at this one. It is freaking beautiful. Wow, these are some beautiful, cool tones. I'm gonna have to definitely play with these and try them out, you guys. Thank you so much to Kynjii's Beauty Collection for my birthday gifts. I am just speechless. It's so beautiful. Thank you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna have to link their Facebook page on down below in the video too, so make sure you guys check them out. Holy cow. All right, you guys, for the Halloween special, you guys, first off, I need to tell y'all. So last week I had uploaded a video of the misting bottle spray as, okay, it was me and my sister. We were going around misting the house with breast milk. And let me just tell y'all, okay, like this place is just wild and with spirits, okay? Like there's just, so it was really weird. So one day I came over and it had probably been about, I don't know, almost 2 weeks since the last time I went over to their house. So I went over and I was like, what happened here? Because there was something in the air that was so thick, like it was freaky. Like it felt scary, you know, like, and it was broad daylight, you guys. I went over in the middle of the day and it was, you guys know from my stories, crazy stuff happens in the middle of the day when it's sunny, okay? So the first thing I did when I walked in, because I was hungry, you guys, okay, I went there for food, and so I was going there to eat, and I walked into the living room, and I was meeting somebody in the living room. There was a guest who was over, and I remember I saw somebody standing in the bedroom staring at me, and I turned and I looked into the room, and there was nobody there. So I was like, I'm feeling kind of freaked out being here. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I come over quite often, and so it was kind of odd. So then I go upstairs, because this is the fourplex. My brother owns this place. I go upstairs and I'm eating. And it's literally me, my boyfriend, and my brother, and we're sitting in the living room, and I'm just eating, and then I can feel and see somebody is standing right, like just slightly behind me, but somebody is just standing there. And so I literally at one point stop and I turn and I'm looking to see what the heck, like, who is this? There's nobody there. So as it turns out, like with fourplexes, there is a shared hallway entrance from the front, and what you can see is basically there's a staircase. Now imagine a wall in the middle of that staircase, and there is one side of the unit and then there is the other side of the unit. Okay, now both sides, once you go down those staircase, you can go down a hallway and then go to the basement where they have the laundry. So people have been hearing a lot of somebody keeps going up and down those basement stairs, and somebody keeps rattling the closet, the door to go down to the basement. So people have been hearing this all the time throughout the day, and it's gotten worse, where there's a lot more activity. So I was literally like asking my sister, like, what the heck happened? Like, what did you guys do? Because of course, naturally, what did you do? Because it was just weird. And so, I was telling my sister, you guys really should do some breast milk around this place. And my sister was like, okay, but somebody needs to go with me. And I'm like, there's a lot of people who live there, like, okay, yeah, you guys will take care of it, and I come over the next week. Well, come the next week, nobody took care of it. So and my sister's getting all the stuff out, and she's super excited, like, yeah, Tassie's here, I'm finally gonna spray breast milk. And I'm like, why didn't you do it before I came over? So that's when I did the video clip of us before we started to spray the breast milk. And so I really wish that there had been a camera on my sister and I, because we were the only ones home. For some reason, everybody was gone, and we are going around the whole freaking one side of the unit, upstairs unit, downstairs unit to the basement. We are spraying breast milk everywhere. And so we're doing like the rooms, right? And we're totally fine. And then all of a sudden it's time to go down to the basement. And I'm like, I'm not going. And my sister's like, no, you have to go with me. So I'm like, frick, So like, we do not spray the other side of the unit because there's other tenants who live over there, right? So anyways, so I make my sister go in front of me, and she has the breast milk, and I'm holding my phone with a flashlight. And we're going down the stairs, and I can see the ghost standing there staring at me, and I'm pointing, and I'm like, spray over there, spray over there. But then I start to see the ghosts moving. So I'm like, ah! And my sister is screaming and holding the breast milk and trying to spray everywhere. But we're just both screaming our heads off. Because I'll stop walking, and then she stops walking because she's just staring at me. She's only making eye contact with me and just spraying with her hand out. Oh, God. All right, sorry. I had to move the hat. Okay, I was hitting the hat. All right, so literally she is just spraying anywhere and just like looking at me and not looking where she's going. So then finally we hear the dog upstairs. He starts barking aggressively. So we're in the basement. And when this happens, we're passing by the other unit now on the other side of the basement. And we're passing by the stairway because there's two separate stairways. And then as we're passing by, I'm looking up the stairs like an idiot. And there was a ghost standing there staring at us like, what are we doing? And my sister's like trying to ask me, and she has to go into the really dark room. And I was like telling her, yeah, you have to go in the really dark room. But that entity that was standing at the top of the stairs staring down at us freaked me out. I freaking start screaming, and then the dog starts barking very aggressively out of nowhere. He just starts barking. So we are both just freaking out, and we bolt for it. Okay, so it's not over yet. So we bolt out of there. We did not get the whole basement. And I know it was meant to be that we did not get the whole basement because I've had that entity tell me certain things before that's in the basement. They just want to be left alone. But anyways, so we get upstairs and, you know, like we're checking on the dogs, everything's okay. And so, you know, we're trying to finish up the breast milk now. You know, we're trying to use it all up. So I tell my sister, no, you need to go and get that closet in the room, the one furthest by the window. And my sister was like, okay. And so what she always does, whenever she opens up the closets in that room, she calls for the dog, Naru. So Naru, if you guys recall my time when I was in California, when I almost had the sleep paralysis moment, Naru came rushing down the hallway and he saved me, okay? So my sister literally is like, come here, Naru, come here. So Naru comes and my sister opens up the closet and I'm standing in the room looking at my sister and Naru, okay? So my sister opens up the closet and Naru's face, she said that his face was pure fear when she opened up that closet, and Naru started running. He started backing up and running the heck out of that room. So then my sister screams, she slams the closet door shut, and she starts running out of the room too. And of course I'm running too because I'm not going to be left behind. So we wait until we have, like, you know, more courage, and we're trying it again, okay? So I tell her, okay, I'll go with you. I'll go with you to the closet. So my sister, she opens up the closet, and then she starts spraying aggressively, but then I can see the entity at the very top of the corner, so I'm yelling at her, in the corner, get the corner. And guess what, you guys? This entity was furious. He started to challenge us, and the worst thing was my sister couldn't see it. Her hand was in his face because the entity in the closet started he started like trying to lick the breast milk aggressively and be very angry. Now y'all, the breast milk only works for certain ghosts, okay? If the entity is very strong and of demonic nature, it is not a ghost, you guys. Breast milk will not work. It does hurt them, but not enough to get rid of them. And then my sister, because she can't see it, because she's looking at me and she's freaking trying to attack the closet with the breast milk, I'm telling her, in the corner, higher, higher. And she's trying to get there. And then once I see that entity licking and trying to eat the breast milk, I yelled out a huge F-bomb. And then I said, forget it, he's just eating it. So my sister and I, we both scream and slam the closet door shut, and we run the heck out of there. It was terrible, you guys. It was a terrible time. But I really do wish that we had been recorded during this time, because we look like idiots, okay? Alright, guys. Entities like that, you're going to need to have a whole ceremony done. And that place is wild. And okay, that's all I got to say. All right. And then a question I was recently asked was about the differences between shamanism runs in your family versus you're born to be a shaman. So sometimes people are confused by the two terms. However, just so you guys are clear, you come from a family of shamans or shamanism runs in your family, it doesn't necessarily mean you are going to be a shaman. So what that means, it means that generally a lot of people in your family are shamans, or they're supposed to be shamans, or they were shamans, okay? Born to be a shaman means, if people like me, you were inflicted since you were a child. It came to you very, very young. You were destined and meant to have always been a shaman once you were born, basically. And these people who are like this, they cannot escape it. They have to become a shaman at some point in their lives. So that is the biggest difference when it comes to shamanism runs in your family, or you come from a lineage of shamans. It doesn't necessarily mean everybody will be a shaman. And sometimes for shamanism in the monk community, it will skip a generation and then it will go into the next generation. And sometimes I feel like it's based off of a need. You know, like if there's too many, then there ends up not being many that comes in the next generation. And then if there's almost none, there will be forced ones that will come. So, you know, with that being said, I was also asked, do I believe in the future shamanism will die out? I don't believe shamanism will die out. I mean, you know, we're in the 21st century, you guys. We're modern times. We don't need magic, right? So why does it still exist? Because people are still inflicted with it. And it's not something that people can control either. So I honestly believe that shamanism is going to be morphing. It's going to be changing in the future. Old magic that we used to have may not be there, but in place of it, it will be new magic. And that always goes hand in hand with, newer generations. Once they are getting old now and the new ones are coming out, they tend to have fear, because they don't understand the new generation. And that's really what it stems from. And I've mentioned this in other videos too about old age shaman, and then the new age shamans. So there's always a lot of animosity between the two because of that as well. But what is never, ever agreed upon is that either one isn't real. Because at the end of the day, magic is magic. So let's get into the video about tarot cards. So I have mentioned in the past, and I'm trying to pick up my tarot cards. I have a lot of stuff on my desk right now, you guys. So in the past, I have mentioned that I used to do tarot cards before I became a shaman. I no longer actively practice and do tarot cards for other people, okay? So one of the abilities that I had that spilled out into my life, trying to point me in the direction of being a shaman, was doing tarot cards. So recently I also showed somebody how to do tarot cards, and that's where the whole idea came about. My deck, it's actually the King Arthur deck. So I love things about King Arthur and the story of it all, and Merlin, and all that history and all that jazz. I absolutely love it. So this was actually the deck that I ended up choosing. Now, as far as doing tarot cards, okay, so I'm going to be walking you guys through how I do it. And this is not something that my teacher taught me. And this is not something that my spirit guides taught me either. So that is why I'm able to tell you guys what I know about about tarot cards. So first off, you can choose the deck that calls to you. Honestly, that's really what it is. Some people have a belief that you need to start off with this very specific starter type of tarot card decks, or that your deck has to be gifted to you, your first deck. I bought my first deck, okay, just so y'all know. So that's thrown out the window. I will say though, recently I did gift somebody with their first tarot card deck as well. However, you can purchase your own. And so with that being said, with tarot cards, look for the one that calls to you. Like which one is the most beautiful for the design, and which one, even if it's not beautiful, but some reason you can't stop looking at it and you feel like you need to have it, that is most likely going to be your deck. Now, there are myths about tarot cards that I think is BS, so I'm just going to tell you all about it. So, if you guys research about tarot cards, there's going to be a lot of weird stories about them. And, it's really up to you which one you want to believe. At the end of the day, I'm a realistic person, you guys. Even though, it's crazy with all the things that happen to me, I'm still a very realistic person. So one of the things is that apparently, if you start to give wrong ratings continuously, you need to recharge your tarot cards. So take what you will out of that. Some people call it recharging by putting your tarot cards in satin cloth or in a wooden box, and you lay them open in front of a full moon. Okay, if you do that and that's what your belief is, that's totally fine. I do not believe in that though, whatsoever. And I'm not trying to be rude about this, you guys, but it's not something that I believed in. I read it, and I remember as I was reading it, I was like, what? How does that make any sense? Okay, so I will say with tarot cards, it will really kind of solidify if you're going to have this ability. So this isn't something where, I feel like it's not something that you can keep practicing at and you get better at it. All right, what I've found, and I think it's probably because of the shaman in me, if you do a deck of cards and you pull the cards on anything that you want to ask, the accuracy has to be pretty uncanny. And that will pretty much tell you if you have the ability to do tarot cards, to be psychic in that way, or an oracle in that way. All right. I don't believe in, to keep practicing until you get better when it comes to tarot cards. Just because if you really aren't meant to have this ability, or you don't have any type of mystical powers towards tarot cards, it just won't happen for you. And that is also going to tie in with some of the other things I'm going to say when it comes to tarot cards too. So Some of the other myths about tarot cards that I've read, and I found them not to be true, that's why I'm saying this, you guys, is that if you guys, okay, so if you guys research tarot cards, there's going to be, some people will sell maps, okay, real freaking maps on where to place your cards. You will shuffle them, do your own jazz, right? And then as you draw them, you place them exactly on the map of where they should be facing and which direction. I found it's not true. Okay, so because when I was doing tarot cards, sometimes I didn't have that much space. I will admit, when I first started, I thought that was the rule. So I would lay my cards in the exact order that you are supposed to, right? But then I started running out of space because some of these decks and the stuff that you have to draw, it's very extensive, okay? And there's like 10, 15 cards you got to pull. So I didn't have enough space. So what I did was literally bam, 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 one after the other. I just laid them right on top of each other, and then I would flip them and read them. Okay? I had no problem doing that. So I believe that that myth is out the window. It doesn't exist either. You don't need a map drawn exactly how the cards should be facing. What I believe in, and this is probably why it works regardless if I have a map or not, it is the intent behind your cards. Okay, so anybody who gets into tarot cards, or even if you're currently doing tarot cards, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you do? What are you thinking about when you do your tarot cards? Because I do something very specific when it comes to tarot cards. And it really will also tell you what kind of, if you're like a Hmong shaman, because I can only speak on Hmong shamanism. I'm not familiar with other types of shamanism in the world. So if you are a Hmong shaman, or you're supposed to be, or etc., right, and you do tarot cards, what do you see when you're doing tarot cards? When I do tarot cards, my eyes are closed. All right, I have now advanced. That's right. There's such a thing as advancing, where I can now do tarot cards without closing my eyes. However, for some reason, when I first started doing tarot cards, I used to always have to close my eyes to draw the cards. And I would always do something, and I'll tell you guys on the next video, okay, what I do. But I would always do something because I want to know, what do you guys do? I don't want my answer to influence you. I want it to be natural. And that's really big for me when I have students. I want you to be natural when you're doing these things, because what I do may not work for you. And this was actually proven. Because of the person who I was teaching and showing them how I do tarot cards. You know, like what I do, just because it's what has worked for me, may have nothing to do with you. You know, like you may hate it and you might stutter over this simple movement, but you can't do it for some reason because you're not supposed to do it that way. That's why. So for myself, I do something very specific whenever I draw cards. And that's how I know that I was supposed to be a shaman, because of my spirit guides. Okay, like they do something whenever I draw cards. Now, with those myths thrown out the window, okay, when you guys do your tarot cards, how you shuffle your deck, it is entirely up to you. But I will say, whenever you open up a brand new deck, shuffle the heck out of it. Shuffle the heck out of it. Because they are in order. Just like any other cards, they're all going to be in a certain order. Now, once you've shuffled them, you can always do the bridge. And I will say, you know, tarot cards, they can be kind of big. You got to build the hand muscles to do the bridge with such big cards, okay? So you can do your bridges. There's no problem doing bridges on these. I will say some teachings of tarot cards, they will say, you know, don't cut it a certain way or don't do certain bridges. I do bridges, but what I would recommend for you guys when you guys are doing your tarot cards, okay, this is going to sound kind of weird unless you know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to say this and I want you to practice it if this is something you're really trying to get into, okay? And see if what I'm saying to you makes sense to you later on. When you are shuffling your cards, do you feel something from your hands? Because when I shuffle my tarot cards, I feel something. And these cards, you guys, I just discovered this. My cards are worth over $100 now. I mean, these cards are over 10 years old though, you know, and so anyways, back to my story. My hands feel something from the cards. They do. Now, it's going to be up to you and your abilities. So do you feel, I feel a magnetic pull whenever I run my hands through my cards. And it is a very comforting feeling whenever I'm running my hands through the cards as well. So I can feel a certain pull, not that motion, you guys, but it's a different motion in the cards. Like the cards are trying to talk to you, basically. So, you know, does that happen to you? Think on it. These are just things I want you to think on as you guys are doing it, or if you choose to do it or try it out. Just think of it that way. Like, do you feel a certain pull when you're doing your tarot cards? Because that is really going to also be a certain gift that you're going to have. Now, whenever I'm done shuffling my cards, okay, so somebody will come and ask you a question and they want to know something. Usually with tarot cards, I don't believe in the yes and no answers. Okay, that does not work. That's why. Okay, because some people believe to get you a yes or a no, when you flip the card, if it's going to be facing up, it's a yes. If it's facing down, it is a no, right? So looking at this right now, it is facing upside down. So then they're saying it's supposed to be a no. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying it doesn't work, okay? It's just never worked for me. So I don't believe in yes and no's when it comes to tarot cards. The questions have to be certain ways. Like, for example, a common one that I always do, it's going to be past, present, future. So if you ask me, oh, like, how's 2022 going to go for me? I'm going to look at your past, present, future, right? And then sometimes I will draw 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, a year from now. I may even draw a message from a higher being. So those are the type of cards and what they represent when I draw it, right? Now, the question in itself and how you want to answer it is entirely up to you. You can just draw one card for the whole 2022. It is entirely up to you. And then you have to read up and learn about the card and what is the meaning behind the card, right? So knowing that you don't have to lay them out in a certain way. Sometimes when people first start doing tarot cards, they do like it laid out a certain way because it gets them into the groove to remember, okay, what is this question? What is the second question? What is the third question? Like what am I trying to answer, right? Because sometimes when you first start, you're not going to remember it. What I do recommend is you guys writing it down. So write your questions down. So sometimes people create, so when we think about like the book of spells, right? When there's a book about tarot cards, what it is, it's basically what each card is supposed to represent. So you can start your own journal, literally, and if you decide to draw 7 cards, think of what each question will represent for each card. And those are the 7 ones that you'll be drawing. Now, what I was saying about the pull on these cards and after I've shuffled them, and I'm saying this very specifically, I cut my deck. Not everybody will cut their deck, okay? And what I do is I will feel it and I can feel the pull on when I know I have to cut the deck. And that's when I cut it. So you can practice it where you kind of like hold it out and just keep feeling along it and see, okay, like where is the pull? You know, right? So if you don't feel a pull, you may not have to cut your decks. That literally could be you, where you do not cut your cards. And the person I was trying to teach, I kept asking them, like, do you feel it? Like, do you feel the pull, right? And she had no idea what I was talking about. And the other issue with this individual is they second guess themselves a lot. Because what we were doing was I was asking them a question and I had them pull it. And then I automatically shuffle my cards and bam, 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 I pulled mine. And then so our answers were like really dead on though. So, but what happens though is like, I'm pretty sure people might get nervous if I'm standing there and I know how to do it. And I'm like, well, come on, do it. You know, like, so for myself, I can feel that magnetic pull in my hand where I can tell when to pull it. So if you are doing this and you're checking and you don't feel anything, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you do not have to cut your deck. And it just may not be an ability for you. So just grab wherever you feel like it and cut it. Right? And even right there, I didn't feel it. It's up a little bit more. I can feel it. All right. So when you draw your card, remember how you draw them. Do you draw it like this? Notice how I pulled down and then I flipped it up and straight down. Okay? Some people pull it like this and then down. All right? Some people, they open it up like this. They open it like this, okay? What I'm trying to say, though, is always pull your cards the same way. Because how you're pulling it will make it upside down or straight up. And for these cards, tarot cards, there is an up and down. There is an up and down, and there's a totally different meaning depending if you pull the up or the down version, the reverse. Okay? So, what I was saying about the book of tarot cards and, you know, like the book of spells when it comes to tarot cards, create your own book. Like, think about all the random questions people might ask you. And really just think about, you know, like, okay, if somebody wants to know about their job or somebody wants to know about their relationship, what kind of stuff would people want to know, you know? And when you become better, you can create it on the fly, right? Now, I will say, when it goes back to the intent, I do something very specific when it comes to tarot cards that I didn't know was a shaman thing, because I wasn't a shaman yet, or I didn't know I was supposed to be a shaman when I started doing tarot cards. I didn't know. But naturally, I would do certain things, and I was just stupid. I didn't know I was supposed to be a shaman, but nobody told me I was supposed to be a shaman. So, I mean, I just thought, you know, I'm just playing around with tarot cards, right? So very specifically, when I do tarot cards and I think about the question, you know how I tell you guys about manifestation, and it's about the intent behind the magic, right? You can learn the exact verses that I say, but if you don't know the meaning behind it, you don't know the intent and when to pull, doesn't mean anything, right? So that is what I am saying when it comes to tarot cards and I ask a question. So let's say I want to know about your past. Spiritually, I do something when I want to look into your past. My spirit guides will do something. And I see things when this happens, right? Because remember, when I started doing tarot cards, I always shuffled my cards with my eyes closed. And when I pulled them, I also pulled them with my eyes closed. And only after I finished it did I open my eyes and see all the cards, right? But then as I became better at tarot cards, and I didn't have to focus so much, because I used to have to focus. That's what it was. That's why I had to have my eyes closed. So if you feel like you don't have to focus and you can keep your eyes open, and you can even be talking to somebody as you pull the cards, right? So when you get to that level, and it's very easy to tap into that and just do it, it's not going to be a problem. So you can be able to then pull your cards, talking to people, not closing your eyes. You can do it in front of them. What I do recommend, you know, because sometimes when you do tarot cards, you want people to test it on, you know? So usually that's when you do it, those nearest to you, closest to you. You just ask random questions. How is my new year going to be like? Usually I always try to think about what will best help this person. What kind of message do they need to know that they probably aren't listening to? And it's coming from the cards, okay? So, you know, you never have to do past, present, future. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can just go to present and future. But usually people do past, present, future, because that really can tell that person, okay, do you even know what you're doing when it comes to the tarot cards? Because the past better match the past of the person, right? And it has to match what they're asking about. So you can ask about your career. You can ask about your love life. You can ask about your children. You can ask all sorts of stuff, right? You can even do one on animals, you guys. I've showed you guys on my Shaman Memoirs on Facebook and Instagram when I pulled a card for Oscar, okay? So I also had this individual pull cards on animals too. And it also worked. It was like really uncanny how accurate it was. It was exactly that dog. And so, you know, like, these are all things that you guys can practice and do. So, again, if you guys are finding that no matter how many times you're pulling up tarot cards, you got nothing makes sense. It doesn't actually apply. You know, you wait the month, you wait the 2 weeks, however long you pulled it for, right? Because you're going to pull it for, you know, what's going to happen in 2 weeks. How are you going to feel in 3 weeks? You know, you can literally do it day by day. You can do it by week. You can do it by months and years. It's up to you. So literally that's what people would do to see just how accurate are they when it comes to tarot cards. And if they are not accurate, it's probably just a gift you will not have. So, reason why I keep asking you guys, what do you see? What do you feel when you are doing tarot cards? Is because if you are a Hmong and you're a shaman, it will tie in with your natural abilities you will have if you ever became a shaman. All right, so in my next video, I'll tell you guys exactly what I see and what I do when I do tarot cards, so that way you guys have an idea as well. And it will not happen the same way to everybody, what I do in the spirit world, what I see when I do tarot cards, etc. Because I was already going into the spirit world, I just didn't know. And so the tarot cards, which I'm not meant to be doing tarot cards, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not supposed to be my method of communication with the spirit world, because I can just talk to them. But I will say, sometimes they don't answer, and so I think a fun one would always be people wanting to know about their spirit guides. You guys can find out through the cards. They can help draw it for you. So that is really how you guys can do tarot cards. Like some of the things that I read about or read about, this was many, many years ago, you guys. I have not read about tarot cards since. Really, it all stems down to what really makes sense to you. Because if something doesn't make sense to you, it's probably not a teaching meant for you. And you don't have to follow it religiously or by the book. Now, I do definitely want to say that the deck that person has, I gave them, is beautiful. Okay, so, all right, you guys. So that is it when it comes to reading tarot cards and doing tarot cards. As far as knowing the cards in itself and the meaning behind it, the whole theory behind it, it's that you have to basically research and look up the meaning behind the cards. And when you do tarot cards so much, you start to know the cards automatically because of pattern and history that you keep doing it, right? Now, for other people, and like this is one of the things that I always say, for other people, like I know for some Hmong shamans, they don't use tarot cards, they actually use a deck of cards. Some shamans will also use flowers, some use joss money, like the Asian money that for spirits and stuff like that. I actually use incense sticks and joss money if I'm going to be doing what we would call Shai, which is like looking to your future, etc. I love flowers, okay? I love white flowers, but my teacher refused and banned it. So I can't use the white flowers because she does not use white flowers. But I love white flowers, man. Okay, like, but if you guys remember the last time my boyfriend, I no longer accept white flowers though, because ghosts came, because ghosts also like white flowers. Okay, so you guys, that's it for my Halloween special. Don't forget to check out TassieYang.com when it comes to Love Tassie for my accessories. And then, of course, for the giveaway, don't forget about the giveaway. All right, you guys, until next time,